Hey, my people, good afternoon here, about 3 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time in Mesquite, Texas, September 10th, 2016. Just want to shoot a quick video to you. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. Man, it was an interesting week, short week, but interesting to say the least on my job. A lot of firsts, some uncomfortable moments, but goes with the territory. Glad to have a job and to have the job that I have. God is blessed. Just wanted to shoot this quick video. Just got back from doing my laundry. Man, it is beautiful outside. The sun is shining, but it's not hot. You know, actually cooling out, nice little breeze. And I was just thinking about, man, it'd be nice to go to the park and, of course, chill out on the blanket. And I was in, major relationship once or twice, 3 times or so in my life. So, of course, you can't help but to think about it. Would be nice to be able to do that with a significant other. You know, I've been single long enough now, over a year, to know that feeling, to remember what that was like, you know. And I know a few of you, my fellow single individuals, you can relate to that if you're watching this, especially if you're anywhere in this area I'm in, here in Texas, where it's just after being hot, 93 plus, humidity, to have it nice and sunny but breezy, no rain. Wow, that's nice. But then I was thinking about those individuals. And look, I'm gonna just put my business out. I was married more than once. I've been single for over a year, but obviously that means there was a relationship before that, right? The reality of it is, I think about all of you out there, and I've made a few friends in the last year who are in pursuit. Hey, bless you. You know, uh, uh, um, wish you all the best. I told you before directly. I told many of you directly. I'm telling you now, in the general sense, I still say the same thing. Go after it. That's what you want. That's what you are about. Go get it. You want that man. And for those fellas out there who might actually stop and watch this video, though we don't do that too often, who might, unless it's about sports. But if you after it, get it, sir. A lot of wonderful young ladies out there. A lot of nice young men out there. I'm just thinking about those who are on the verge, right? And I typically talk about, when I say relationship, I'm gonna just be real. No disrespect to those who are afraid of marriage or just don't want to be married. But even though I've had failed marriages and things, my parents have been married 46 years as of a month ago, almost a month ago now. Uh, uh, my grandparents was married up until my grandfather died on my mom's side for 50, 60 years, whatever it is. So even though I've had failed relationships, failed marriages, I tend to think in terms of marriage. And that's not just my faith and all that. No, I really think in terms of marriage. No disrespect, though, to those who think long term, dating or living together. I'm not cool with that. But, you do what you do. I'm just sitting here thinking about those who are on the verges of those relationships who are, let's just be real, they don't want to use the word. And I understand that. I won't use it, the D word, but they're pushing. They're definitely angling. They're definitely positioning themselves. You got to position yourself for a blessing, which it really isn't true. But anyway, uh, 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 I digress from that point. The reality of it is they want to be in that relationship. Cool. Cool. I was there. Been there a few times. Understand. I want to talk, however, to those just real quick here who you think you found him or her, right? This your boo, right? I mean, it happened quick, attraction, chemistry, but you're trying to be mature about it. You know what I mean by mature about it. You ain't trying to warm your sheets up with somebody too quick. You know what I'm saying? Now we grown folks, and yes, I am a Christian. I understand this generation being in it, and I know how we work. So I think you understand what I mean. You don't need me to be spelling it all out. I know people just reel and they just say all the crass things that you could think to say. I'm not going to do that because I don't know who's going to watch this. And I want to show respect to my Christian brothers and sisters. Okay? But I think you understand what I mean. You want to move on. You want to say that they cool. And I've had people tell me, the dynamics of how they go about getting there. It's awesome, man, to hear them describe it. They don't know I'm paying attention in a whole nother way, not just, okay, who they are. but I'm paying attention because I'm collecting this information to try to understand it in a global sense, if you don't mind me saying. And what I mean is to hear, okay, one friend told me about Facebook and I got to be introduced to people and I got to, all that. I mean, she broke it down. Like I got, emails and all this kind of stuff and I got to get access. I'm like, okay, wrote that down, in my mind, but I wrote that down. Then others, no, I ain't like that. I don't need no cell phones and I ain't got to be checking this and all this kind of stuff. Okay. It's about trust and then, okay, she said she don't need all that. Well, actually, 2 or 3 said they don't need all that. Cool. But as I sit back and some of these whom I still talk to, who are friends, acquaintances, whatever you want to call them, and I watch because some of them are engaging in relationships as we speak. Some engaged in relationships that didn't quite work out. It's just interesting to me to watch this stuff unfold because when they started engaging in the relationship, of course, they spoke up, And I'm not the type that's gonna push, Now, if you're my friend, I suspect you would be comfortable with me asking, but even then, I understand that dynamic, and I tend not to push really, unless he tells me to. I'm not going to. Again, supposition, you can figure it out, right? The reality of it is, and trust me, when he tells me to push, I don't want to. But when I hear, unfortunately, in some cases where, and I'm gonna just be real with you, a lot of cases where they thought it was the one. I saw the descriptions on Facebook or wherever. I may have known them or we were connected. That or via text message. Hey, this is the thing. This is working. This is doing it. Cool. Like I said, I'm about marriage. I think marriage is a wonderful thing. 46 years, my parents, my grandparents, at least 50 that I know of, I believe 50 years, did they think, okay? But that little thing that you hear in the beginning, that little still small voice, one book I read says, and those who believe in that book, they would understand what I'm talking about. Some say gut, some say intuition, some say vibe. It's interesting how when we really want to be in a relationship, we don't listen to the but. Matter of fact, we tell ourselves, and I don't mean the B-U-T-T, I mean that B-U-T, that conjunction, let me stop them. Let me look at this. That thing that I'm sensing that's a contradiction to what I'm feeling. I want to be in a relationship. Now, you can imagine I've gone through a few situations here. I'm single now for over a year, but trust me, this wasn't my plan a year and some change ago, as I would like to call it. This was not my intention. It was, there's some difficulty, but there are some things that ain't right. But that's how I was a year and 3 months or so ago. So I was serious. I was. Yeah, I know it's bad, but I've been single for a minute now, and I ain't gonna lie. It's kind of a relationship would be nice. You see people. So I was at the laundromat, and the couple was clowning and flirting with each other, and I'm a bit of a jokester, so I get that. That's tight witty right there. It's tight witty. But it's like I moved from here to here. A relationship would be nice, but I'm really beginning to be cool with being single. Because as I chit chat with one or two here and there from time to time, I hear things. And I hear things that I heard in the past, in previous situations, where I went on and got married. And you got to understand, married 3 times, and each relationship lasted no less than 7 years. No less than 7, right? Was creeping up on 7, was within months of 7. Within like a month or 2 of 7 years. So the reality of it is, they weren't terribly long, but they were long enough for me to know that experience of that moment of goo goo gaga, ooh, this is wonderful. And then also to look back and be able to see that fall off the cliff. So I just did this video because, just sitting here thinking about some of you, my acquaintances, my friends, how you see yourself in respects to myself. You might be at that place, or you want to be at that place, and that little still small voice, you've been single too long, you're tired of being single, and finally the brother come at you the right way, the sister respond to you the right way. And when I say brother, sister, I don't mean black or African American. I just mean, they come at you and they speak to you, and it's like, finally, a gentleman, a lady, know how to carry themselves, right? But they joke a little bit in a certain way. They express themselves in a certain way. You tell them, because it's new, they don't know. So hopefully you educate them. You let them know gently. This is my word I use a lot. Gentle, be gentle. And you do, and they say, "Oh, I'm sorry, boo," all that kind of stuff. Babe, boo, I don't like it. Whatever. And it happens again. And you like, okay, Or something they said was so egregious, was so difficult to handle, you brush it back because they're gonna come and cuddle, and we're gonna watch a movie. You brush it back because they taking me to my favorite place to eat. You brush it back because they've met my children and grandchildren, or they met my parents, or they came to a family barbecue and everybody liked them. You brush it back because, hey, I'm not perfect. You brush it back to the back of your mind because, hey, things happen. Sometimes we say things in the heat of the moment. Maybe it was my fault. You brush it back. You say, I don't want to deal with this because of previous relationships. This is a whole new thing, and maybe I'm just taking it too serious. So you brush it back to the back of your mind. Most of the time, probably a good idea. But some of you, as I've experienced, and I just wanted to share this with you, not the case. You brushing it back, but it ain't staying back. Because now something has alerted you to watch for it. So yeah, you enjoying being in the arms, or you enjoy having her in your arms, whatever. You sitting across and you watching the movie, but you can't help but to just, oh man, it's just so tight. She's the bomb. Whatever. I don't know what they say now. I don't know nothing about the words. You want to be in a relationship, but now I'm not here to throw salt. That's why I'm staying real general. I'm not trying to give too many examples like I normally would, because I don't want you to think, yeah, see, that's me, and you thought, you know my situation. No, I'm trying to stay general. I'm trying to stay real general here. I'm just throwing this out there. So I'm gonna cut this video. I don't want it to be too long. I just want to throw it out there. I just want you to think about it. Is that you? Are you that one who keeps brushing it back because he's handsome? Brushing it back because she's cute. Brushing it back because they're financially stable. Brushing it back because your kids like her. Brushing it back because your mama like her. Brushing it back. But they're just things that you're seeing. The little voice in your head, in your gut, whatever you want to give credit to right now won't bother you. That's saying, hey, I know you want to be in a relationship, but what? Maybe we should think about this a little harder. Maybe we should at least address the thing that keeps coming forward. There's just one thought that keeps pressing forward. Maybe we should take a minute while our hearts are starting to fall, our emotions are starting to mix up. We grown folks, and we doing some things now. We ain't just cuddling anymore. We starting to move a certain direction. Maybe we should have a conversation. Just broach the situation. Put it out there. Broach the conversation, Put it out there. Let's see what happens. I'm just saying, here's your boy. Just want to let you know that maybe you should have the chat. Run the risk. If the relationship's going to hold up, it's going to hold up. If it's not, it's not. I don't know if you want to be like me, 3 marriages in, 3 marriages down. I don't think you do. And so maybe I can share a little bit without getting all super personal that might help you think for a minute. Food for thought. Am I getting those vibes? Somebody called it the other day in the chat with me. If you are, maybe you want to be in a relationship, but we need to think about it. Have a great one.